Hey, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. So Sarah and I bought this sunshade off Amazon, and we're gonna hang this up kind of in this area of the coop to help keep the chickens a little shaded. It is so hot out. We bought this other one last summer, and it's like a triangle shape, and so it does a little bit. I mean, it depends on where the sun's at, obviously, of how much shade there is, and so it definitely helps. But the one I just bought is a square one, and so I think it'll give a little bit more shade. Um, and so I'm gonna do kind of the same thing with this. Is I'm using T-posts, just drove into the ground, and I got this one tied just directly to the coop, um, just to give the girls a little more shade. So come with me as I get this set up. It's a scorcher today. You can see the sun a lot. I think it's like 90 degrees, probably a heat index of like 100, but we're gonna get these girls taken care of.
We wanted to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, GRUBTERRA. If you have not heard of GRUBTERRA, they produce and sell black soldier fly larvae, and they decided to send us a sample for our chickens to try. GRUBTERRA can help your flock produce stronger eggshells, keep their feathers healthy, and it has 75% more calcium than traditional mealworms. GRUBTERRA is great for chickens, reptiles, fish, and birds, and with the excessive heat in our region, we were excited to try out their product and give our flock a little bit of extra protein this week. As you can see, GRUBTERRA makes a great snack or enrichment activity. To learn more about them, you can check out the link in our description box below, and they have a special offer for our followers. You can get a free 1 pound bag of their black soldier fly larvae if you sign up for their email list. You just have to pay the shipping. You can also use the code GRUB10, GRUB10, for 10% off your first order. So head on over to their page and check them out today, and thank you again to GRUBTERRA for sponsoring today's video.
As you can see, there's only one chicken in there now, but this is Bean's hutch. Bean is our rabbit, and they're kind of coming in here. I think it's a little cooler in there, so they're just hanging out. But Bean is not a fan of that. And they're also coming up here. I don't see any eggs right now, but this upper level to lay eggs. And that's not where we want them to lay eggs, especially because they all go up there and they stomp on them and peck at them and break them. So that's an issue. Our Turkin, she has like a bare neck. Never had one of those before, but it's kind of different. So obviously they have shade in here too, and we took off the end there so they have plenty of airflow, but just to give them more surface area of shade, because obviously the more chickens the hotter it gets. All of our geese are kind of just hanging out. That's not really typical. That's Lucy. She's a little noisy today. Gonna refill their pools too, at least one of them. Give them some fresh water. We also got this new package of electrolytes, Dr. Connie's Natural Solutions. So also has probiotics too. So when it gets this hot out, we like to give the chickens electrolytes. Sometimes we'll just do like apple cider vinegar with their water, but it does help keep them hydrated. And so this bag, you only need half a teaspoon per gallon. And so I don't know how many teaspoons this is, but this is a pretty big bag, so it should last us a while. So I think what I'll do is, I believe this red one is probably like 2 gallons, and that's blue one's maybe a gallon. So do a half teaspoon in the blue one and a full teaspoon in the red one. And then our other water is this metal trough, which I kind of move this around depending on where the sun's at. So I need to move that. I think this is 5 gallons. It's either 3 or 5 gallons, but I'm going to treat it as 5. So I'll give them the corresponding electrolytes to meet that. But as you can see here too, they're really loving this new area. They've knocked down quite a bit of grass, which makes us happy because then we don't have to mow this. Um, that's exciting. So what I'll do is I'm going to lay this out on the ground just to see what area I need to put the T-posts, and then I'll get a little tighter by angling the T-post out. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay this out and then see where we need to put these posts. I'm actually going to come up right up against the coop there, and so it's a little bit narrower than the coop, and actually the long ways is coming out, so I would actually prefer that so that they have more shade coming out rather than width, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put T-posts up against the coop as basically as wide as it needs to be, and like I said, I'll angle them down so that it's taut, and then as we come downhill, that'll allow the shade to be facing or sloped down so any water would trickle off there. So just going to drive the first one in the ground as my starting point. Um, these are just typical 6-foot T-posts that you find at any farm store. So nothing fancy about them, but we use zip ties to tie them up. So I'll go get this first one in the ground. I'm going to try to make this one taut, and so I'm going to kind of angle it best I can so that it will be tight. I'll actually probably drive this one farther in the ground so that it is lower. It's already going to be a little lower because of the slope of the ground, but see what we can do here. Probably put it right about there. Oh, she snapped on the other side. You'll have that on these big jobs. Also just using small zip ties. So I could probably go and get wire, but I'm just using what I have. I got the shade up. Had to improvise a little bit. So what I did was I wrapped it around the post a few times, and then I zip tied it. That'll keep some strength just in the sail itself. So that the zip ties won't break. And so I tried to angle it down the best I could. It is going to stretch because just the material that it's made of. And so there's a little bit of a dip in the middle, but I think water will permeate through there, so it'll be fine. But it is sloped down a little bit just to help any water drain away from the coop, which is what I was aiming for, which again, the ground is sloped, which definitely helps. As you can see, it definitely added some shade to this area, which is what I was aiming for. So let's see if the girls like it. Definitely not pretty, but I think it'll do the job. And our chickens aren't that bougie, so I think they'll be okay with it. So the next step to keep the girls cool in this hot weather is I'm going to set up their waters, try to give them cool water at least twice a day, but make sure their waters are filled. But I'm going to get these new electrolytes out that we bought from on Amazon, and I'm going to add that to their water. That should help keep them hydrated. Like I said in the past, we use apple cider vinegar, and that does help with some hydration, but we're going to use some actual electrolyte powder this time, so we'll try it out, see how it goes. So this powder, like I said, it's half a teaspoon of powder per 2 gallons of drinking water daily. So I'm going to say this blue one is 1 gallon and this red one's 2. So I'm going to do half a teaspoon, and I'm just going to eyeball it with this spoon here. So about half a teaspoon for here, like a 1/4 teaspoon for here, and then that's probably 3 gallons. So do a little over half a teaspoon. I don't think it has to be super exact. It smells almost like vanilla, kind of different. We'll go and get these filled up. So let's fill all these up. That's still pretty hot. If you have a hose sitting out in the sun, the water inside the hose can get to like really hot, and it can actually burn you. So you don't want to use a hose, like if you're using a hose for kids, like a water slide or some kind of water toy, you don't let the water drain out of the hose first. And we have a really long hose. We've got like 150 feet of hose right now. So there's a lot of water to be taken out of this first. And I thought it was cooling down, but it was not. It got really hot for a second. I mean, you don't want to give the chickens hot water either, because who wants to drink hot water? So let it get cool. That should be good there. Go and get all these filled up. So another thing we do for the geese and the ducks is they like to have water to swim in and kind of duck their beaks in to clean them and cool them off. So we have these pools set out for them, and we usually rotate the water every 3 days. And so we'll change out one of the waters every day, basically. So then every 3 days they've all been changed. And so I'm going to go and do this one now. So I'm going to clean that out a little bit, and then we'll fill it up with water, nice cool water, and they'll be good to go. Lucy. Lucy's getting very curious. She loves having fresh water, and she does not love sharing it. Usually she'll be the first one in, and she'll actually fight with the other geese because they'll want to go in too, and she won't let them. She might actually fill up a second one for them because it is so hot, and so they can all have a turn. Looks like some of the girls are enjoying the electrolytes. I try to put these waters in the shade so they have some water stays cool. But